Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here, and in this video we're having a look at our personal development and what that means for when we are manifesting. So we were talking about this in the live, and I thought I'd do a little video on it for anyone who may have missed it. We were talking about personal development in the sense that personal development is it's a life kind of style, and we are always learning and we're always growing. And when we are looking at personal development and we are looking at manifestation, for instance, the two are not the same thing. However, manifestation can be a byproduct of who you are and all of the work and everything that you are doing in your personal development and your growth. So when we look at personal development and we look at the concept of manifestation, we do not need to have the best beliefs. We do not need to have all of the confidence. We don't need to have regulated nervous system or anything. We don't need to do anything to manifest, because we're always manifesting. So where we are in our life is a manifestation of who we are and what we have already built within, from either subconscious beliefs, from what we've learned, how we've grown, and all of the different events that have occurred in our life and how we have experienced them. So even when we're consciously manifesting, we can simply just focus on what it is that we're manifesting without having a good self-concept, without having this whole idea of personal development. And we can look at manifestation as something that we are. But when we are looking at manifestation in a conscious kind of way, we do want to be aware of who it is that we are as well. So for instance, all of our life, a lot of the time, until we come into maybe the law of assumption or law of attraction or all of the different kind of ways that we understand awareness, all of our life we have been told who to be. So our identity was kind of formed for us, our beliefs, what we actually thought was the best way to be for ourselves, how we behave, how we act, and how we socialize, how we live our life is really all how we have looked outside of us for the kind of validation in order to identify who we are, if that makes sense. But when we come into, the idea of personal development, this is where we look inward and we ask ourselves about, our spirituality, our connection to our spirituality, our connection to ourselves, our connection to our values, beliefs, principles, and our virtues, and our opinion on it, and our awareness on it, and what we actually truly believe within, without actually looking outside of us for the information or the validation. Now, the way to do this is to come into your authenticity, and your authenticity will always look like what actually feels good to you in the actual present moment, and how you are developing your personal life, your personality, I should say. So what that actually looks like is, if you are somebody who has maybe never experienced an event in your life, maybe something like you want to be more successful, for instance, and you have an affirmation where you think, okay, I'm getting into conscious manifesting, but I'm not really looking at personal development or anything like that. I'm just consciously focusing on the affirmation that I am successful, I am successful. Now, we are rewiring our brain, obviously, and after 72 hours the neurons in our brain start to accept what it is that we are saying, and they accept it as a possibility, and it awakens. And as we persist and are consistent with the repetition, it inevitably will manifest in our life. So these things manifest on a conscious level. But when we are looking at our personal development, for instance, we want to be looking at, when they actually do manifest, are we somebody who is showing up authentic to the truth of who we are? So if you're somebody who has, not been able to believe in being successful, and you start saying, I am successful, after the third day, you may feel a bit better within it. But as you persist, and maybe, for instance, you start to question the outside, you start looking outside for validation, because really that is actually how you've learned everything throughout your life. That kind of cancels out what you have been telling yourself, because the validation in the moment, if it hasn't manifested within those 3 days, is going to show you a different story. So this is where we look at the authenticity of ourselves and we ask ourselves, how is our subconscious mind actually speaking? Let me look into my subconscious mind and speak the language of it. So my subconscious mind actually doesn't believe that I am successful right now, because it is going back into the past of how I haven't succeeded. It's propelling into the future, and saying that it's not here yet. And so I'm kind of stuck in the present with this kind of back and forth. So how can I make the subconscious mind work for me? And how this works is to look into the authenticity of what it means to you to be successful. Now, you could be someone who is not feeling it kind of believable to say I am successful right now because of various things going on in your life. So you can word your affirmation, create a little story in a way that will start to speak to the subconscious. So first of all, the subconscious will always pick up on emotion and feeling quicker because it can't see. So whatever is a heightened emotion will kind of impress on it quicker. Obviously repetition does too, but that repetition impresses onto the subconscious mind because the repetition turns into a belief. But the belief really does start to develop when you can actually create it in a way that is worded specifically to your subconscious mind. So this could look like, okay, so I haven't been successful in whatever area that I am looking to manifest right now. So why haven't I been successful? Let me have a little look at how I can work this system out. So then it's kind of asking ourselves, am I, allowing myself to open up to this idea? Am I creating confidence and security within myself? Am I okay with this thing maybe not happening? Am I safe and secure within myself no matter what the outside is looking like? What kind of beliefs can I incorporate right now to tell my subconscious mind that it's okay to open up to this idea that this is what it is that we are manifesting. So when we do that, then we look at ways that are authentic to us. And authentic means that, ways that are, I suppose, believable. So if you're somebody who's manifesting a job, or, even before you got into conscious manifesting, your mind will automatically think, okay, well, I'll apply for this job. I'll apply for these jobs. Maybe I get an interview out of these 5 jobs that I apply for, and I get an interview. So in that kind of way, you're telling your subconscious mind that you can actually get you can get a job, and you're showing your subconscious mind that you're doing it in a way that is believable to you. Okay, so when we're looking at it, then maybe you don't want to do it in this way. You can do it then in a way that is believable to the subconscious mind by maybe going out there and asking a friend, maybe, do they know any kind of occupations that are opening right now? So while we are using affirmations, we're using the affirmations to build on our confidence. But when it comes to our subconscious mind and our soul, our heart, we want to be speaking to it in a way that we would be generally speaking to it in an authentic way. So that is why we have to get really, really clear and really, really honest about who we truly are and what it is that we want to create for ourselves. And when we are using personal development and we're working on ourselves, it's a lot easier to get clear on who it is that we truly are, and a lot easier to get through on our authenticity, because our confidence is built up in a way that we're allowing ourselves to connect to our authenticity. So for example, I know I mentioned this before, that I always use affirmations anyway, but even with affirmations, I developed the connection to regulating the nervous system, and I developed the habit of meditating. And the reason why I did this was because I wanted to connect more to, not so much the feeling of what it is, but to connect more to my kind of, I suppose, heightened sense, because I am somebody, as I say, who would be sensitive and would be sensitive to emotion. And so I had to look at a way that was going to be kind of authentic to me in the way that I wanted to manifest. So when you are looking at ways that are authentic to you, you may be somebody as well who manifests better by listening to you are affirmations, because I am affirmations are just something that doesn't resonate with your subconscious mind. So it's okay to go the other way, and it's okay to look at that and say, well, my subconscious mind actually picks up on you are affirmations better, because the I am affirmations are something that I have never experienced in my life, or I've never had people tell me that you are this wonderful person. And so when I listen to the you are affirmations, that feels better to me. That makes me feel like somebody is telling me that, or that I am shifting my identity, because I'm looking at it in a second person, third person kind of way rather than a first person. Because sometimes when we are somebody maybe who seeks validation outside of ourselves, which is okay, because this is kind of how we have learned how to live in our life. So listening to you are affirmations would be the validation that is soothing to your subconscious mind, and we start to kind of ingrain it better. And then after we do that, then we can start coming in with, okay, so yeah, you know what, I am this person, and maybe I've listened to these affirmations for a few days now, and I'm starting to believe that, okay, this is feeling good. I'm feeling like I am successful, because I have started in this way of getting really raw with myself, and really raw with who I am as a person, and what actually works for me. So it's like, if you were somebody who is shy, for instance, and that's authentic to who you are, in order for you then to build your confidence, it's to speak in the authentic way. So maybe use the you are affirmations, maybe do the self-regulation. After a couple of days, then you start to feel that shift within. It's a peaceful kind of a shift. And that is when, as I say, you come in and you start affirming then in the I am as well too. Remember that when we're looking at our subconscious mind, and when we're looking at our conscious mind, our conscious mind is the 10%. Our unconscious, subconscious mind is the 90%. So obviously we would want to be working toward the 90% and soothing the 90%, and making the 90% work for us more than the 10%, because the 90% is really where all of the manifestation comes in an effortless and easy way. When we're looking at manifestation, it's a byproduct of who we are, and manifestation again is just something inherent within us. So it would make sense then to kind of look at the whole 90% of what is going on behind the scenes, rather than focusing on the conscious kind of, okay, this is happening now, this is happening now, this is happening now. Now, I do want to say that obviously if we are using affirmations that are in the kind of present, because we do want them to be in the present, we can actually sit down and be conscious, and sometimes that can soothe us as well too, especially if we are feeling dysregulated in our nervous system. I know myself, if I haven't time to do breath work in the moment, if I'm out and about or doing things like, and I have maybe a little kind of a moment where I was unexpected, I jump into I am safe, I am safe, I am safe, and that kind of helps me in the moment. But these are the kind of ways that we are aware and conscious, and it makes up about 10% of our day. So really, our subconscious is what we want to be looking at if we are somebody who's focusing on personal development and focusing on the lifestyle of allowing manifestation to be easy and effortless as well too. So I just thought I'd do a video on that. If you have any questions, you can comment down below, and I will chat to you soon.